update to the food truck video that I did right over here. This week they actually have different food trucks. I guess every week there'll be a little bit of a different food truck. And this time around, I brought Dana to help out. Got another short unboxing video here for you today, and this one is for the Logitech Harmony Ultimate Remote Control. This particular remote control has a hub, and it will actually go through cabinet doors if you want to store your equipment out of sight. As you can tell, the packaging is quite simplistic, just all the items you need and done in a very nice fashion. Of course, we have the remote control itself with a touchscreen and then some hard buttons as well. And this will be the charging cradle, and there'll be a small power plug in the back in which you can use obviously to charge the remote control. And then this is the brains of the operation, this little hub, which will take all the signals from the remote itself, and then again they can do this through cabinet doors that are closed to hide the equipment, and basically send those signals, a radio frequency, RF, to little adapters that has basically an IR blaster that you put right near the equipment. The actual setup of the remote requires you to connect to your computer via the Logitech website. Once the remote control is set up via the Harmony app on the computer, you have a remote control that is pretty much like a standard remote control where you have the hard buttons that will control your equipment, but you also have this nice touchscreen. And what you can do is program activities in there. In this case, you can watch cable TV, watch the Apple TV, in my case, and then, of course, you can watch a DVD movie. In addition to the activities that you program into the remote, you also have individual control of each device. Touchscreen will bring up a scrollable list of all the devices in your home theater, and all you have to do is just touch on that, and it brings up all the controls for that particular device. Now, I know a video remote control, no matter how fancy it is seems like a little over the top, but there's a reason for that. This TV over here is basically my current setup on my entertainment wall. That is a 65-inch Sony, and there are speakers that run along the edges, the left and right edges of the TV, gets a pretty good sound. However, this has always been considered something temporary. The TV that I actually want to put here is this Vizio 80-inch E-Series 4K Ultra High Definition television. Had my eye on this for a really long time, and this, by the way, will be the next unboxing video. Unfortunately, due to the size of this massive TV, this is the extent of the video, as it took 2 people to unbox and mount the television. This is what it looked like once it was finally mounted. I mentioned that there were a few complications with the TV. The mounting of the TV itself, honestly, that was a piece of cake. I'm going to show you the back of it right now. The mount's in place. All I have to do is put on the decorative covers on that, and that's all set to go. The big problem was with the speakers. Now let me explain something about these speakers. First of all, they're outward firing speakers, which means they're designed to mount behind TVs so they're out of sight. Problem is that when the contractor cut the holes, even after I had given him templates, which he lost all 3 sets of them on me, and exact measurements, he still got it wrong. The holes were way too big. There's one of the holes that is cut out in the stone. Problem with that is the speakers have these little L brackets, and what happens is that when you put a screwdriver to this end over here, these turn and they basically come in and they suck down against the drywall right here. If they're too big, there's nothing for it to grab onto. So I had to do a little bit of research, and I found a company that made these rubber installation boxes. There are two unique aspects about this particular box which would suit my needs for the installation. Number one, where you see the spot over here that is an in-ceiling speaker, it can actually be cut out with an X-Acto knife to make it square for the speaker I have. The second is that it's flexible. It could be rolled up and stuffed inside the cavity. Once inside the cavity, all I basically had to do was screw it into some studs to hold it in place. One other added benefit, other than locking down on the rubber and holding the speaker in place in an oversized cavity, is it gives me the added benefit of some vibration reducing tendencies. So it will act as a sound vibration dampener. This is going to be, for me, the perfect solution, but it did take some time. It also shows a little aspect that you can actually make anything work at this point. The last speaker is mounted in there. As you can see, it's seated pretty well, and the rubber box is going to act again as a vibration isolator, as well as holding the speaker in place.